Hello, 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 and welcome to the Grow Up with Grow show. I'm Brett Sklar, your cruise director and managing partner here at Grow Powerful. So I thought I'd hit on a topic that's gotten a couple of questions, which is what is this show? What is Grow Up with Grow all about? Well, my goal is that it is actually a marketing show, but really designed for CEOs and venture capital partners and private equity partners. You see, there's a lot of shows about marketing. There's a lot of podcasts, a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of different things about marketing for marketers. But this is something different. This is teaching CEOs about the fundamentals of marketing so that they're more informed, more educated, and more aware of how to really lead the marketing team and the marketing program, whether they have a CMO in place or not. So that's what the Grow Up with Grow show is. It's for the CEOs. So then who is Grow Powerful? Who is this person that's the managing partner at Grow Powerful that's talking about all these things? Well, we're a team of interim CMOs or fractional CMOs for the innovation economy. We've assembled some of the greatest growth minds in B2B technology, and we deliver them as a team of incredibly capable and battle-tested ICMOs or interim CMOs to the market. And we work collaboratively behind the scenes to really help bring the greatest solutions, ideas, and growth programs to our clients. Now, part of what we leverage is a proven process that allows us to help our clients unlock growth, AKA the 5 phases of market-led growth, which is what we're here to talk about today. We did a webinar about this a while back. We did a campaign about it, and it was really popular. So as we're wrapping up the year, bringing in the new year, and due to that popularity, I wanted to turn it into an episode here at the Grow Up with Grow show. So here we go. And it's important to understand the concept of market-led growth and how it's different from other things you hear out there, such as community-led growth and product-led growth. And in many cases, those two are needed in order to be identified and be structured first in order for market-led growth to work. So let me dive into those two topics really quickly, get those out of the way, and then we'll dive into market-led growth. Community-led growth, or CLG, is leveraging a community as a source of building product ideas, beta testing, and market validation. It is building a group of people with common interests that might identify the same problem that you've identified. And before you go and build a product, build a community around it. And that will really help fuel growth. And that happens before you launch a product. That happens after you launch a product. It's the community. It might be user groups. It might be fan clubs. It might be knowledge base, people that interact in knowledge bases. It could be Reddit communities. It could be anything. But a community-led growth program really leverages the voice and the power of the people that are thinking about or are using your solution or have the same problem that you're facing that's allowing you to innovate. Then there's product-led growth. And there are unbelievable amounts of ideas and strategies. There's a book called Product-Led Growth. It's a fantastic book. But there's a lot of different definitions. But ultimately, it's leveraging the capability and the function of the product in order to allow those users to help fuel the growth. I did a show on product-led growth a few months back. I think you should check it out. Product-led growth is one of those really popular topics. It's going to be interesting to see how that topic morphs in 2023 when we talk about defending our market and really holding on to what we have and how product-led growth can really, play into that. Then there's market-led growth, MLG, and that's what we're here to talk about today. That is something unique that Grow Powerful brings to its clients. And so that's really where we're going to dive in. So market-led growth really has 5 key components: messaging and positioning, brand development and identity, asset creation and implementation, demand creation and rapid tests, and then scale, optimize, and transition. And so it moves from the more strategic side of things to the tactical side of things. So let's dive into that first one, messaging and positioning. And as a CEO, here's what your pain point might sound like. Here's what you might be thinking about. You might say to yourself, we have a messaging problem. We don't communicate what we do well or how we are better. And this is the first phase. And this is when it's time to build your story. So it's story time, boys and girls. The first phase is undeniably the toughest and most challenging. CEOs want the growth. They want it right now. And they want that for a good reason, for competitive reasons, for promises you've made to the market, because our egos need to see the growth. And that's okay, because that fuels a lot of opportunities. We have that inherent push to drive fast and hungry investors of product or service that needs to get into the much needed hands of the market and the customers and have that vision come to life. But without a solid messaging platform and a position that either builds a new category, demonstrates differentiation, or shows a superior approach, the house of cards might fall. So in this first phase of messaging and positioning, we build out the messaging playbook that is the definitive internal guide to building all of the tools, assets, emails, blogs, social media posts, and oh, so many more things to get the story consistent, solid, and in a framework that can change as new information and new ideas become available. Understanding the buyer journey, and how to convert buyers at each stage of the sales funnel will make a big difference in ensuring successful execution. So that's the first phase, messaging and positioning. Then we move on to phase 2, brand and identity. And as a CEO, this is what you might say. We look like everyone else. We feel like our brand is outdated, therefore distracting, and we really need to look bigger than we actually are. We need to look bigger than we actually are. That's something that really can make a big difference in how a company is perceived and how the trust level is gained with companies. And it's all about that first impression, because those first impressions last. No matter how much or how great your product may be, the first impression of your brand is the thing that lasts forever. And while it might not seem fair, that first impression is often the only impression, the only chance you get to gain interest in your prospect. Looking professional, established, consistent, and strong is critical to overcome any possible negative impressions. Remember, in most cases, people are looking for reasons to say no to you. They're looking for reasons to wipe you off their list. Don't give them one. Now, at Grow, if we're working on something for you, we're going to look closely with the leadership team and its own resources or your own resources to build a brand and identity that not only looks professional and stands out from the competition, but more importantly, can make you bigger than you might be to gain that confidence in the potential customers and partners. This includes an in-depth workshop, branding guidelines, basic presentations, all those things that give people the confidence in you from the first glance, because it is oh so important. Now let's keep diving down and go into the third point, the halfway point of the market-led growth elements, and that is asset creation and implementation. And as a CEO, you might say, our sales reps have nothing to say or share with our clients. We need a website. We need case studies. We need presentations. We need sales tools so we can do a better job for our sales and our marketing teams. Well, now it's time to build. So you've got a story in place. You've got an identity in place. It's time to bring the two of those together and build out an arsenal of tools that can be used in the marketing tactics, sales engagements, and investor awareness building to put the story into action. Having the right tools at the right time in the buyer journey will accelerate a successful program. Now, what we would do at Grow is we provide those resources or work with the existing resources under the guidance of an ICMO or an interim CMO to build out all the tools needed based on the buyer journey, the business's needs, We'll find those out. And also, what do the teams want and need to have in place? This is also the phase where marketing tools such as site design, development, sales assets and templates, marketing automation, social media management, community management, and other tools would be implemented as well. So then we move into the fourth area of market-led growth, and that is demand creation and rapid testing. And as a CEO, this is what it would sound like. We need leads. We need to feed our sales teams. We need the marketing machine. And phase 4 is really where that kicks in. It's really that time to build the pipeline and to grow. So now that you've got the story in place, the right identity that differentiates you, the assets created, and the tools configured, it's time to put it all into action and drive forward with a demand creation program that is guaranteed to drive new pipeline. This is where all the hard work of the market-led growth program takes flight. If we were running this program for you, we provide the resources or work with your existing resources and build a full execution of the programs across digital, offline, awareness building, influencers, analysts, word of mouth marketing, and everything else to drive new pipeline growth while reviewing on a regular basis, at least weekly, if not daily, on what we need to tweak, tune, and develop in the programs to increase effectiveness. So then finally, we get to step number 5, stage number 5 in the 5 phases of market-led growth. And that is scale up, optimize, and transition. And as a CEO, this is what you might say. Wow, this is working. We need to double our efforts, continue to optimize it, and hire people and take this thing out, take it on ourselves or take it out internally or really blow it up. So this is the point where you improve, you enhance, you internalize, and you repeat. Once you have that machine moving in full force, it's time to build in sprints and processes to continually improve the results. Test new experiments, get more feedback from internal and external resources, and if not done already, start looking at hiring internal resources to take on the evolution of the story, the assets, and the tools to really make it your own. Now, as interim CMOs or ICMOs, this is where we think that if we've built a program successfully and we've really set it up for success and to live beyond our shorter term engagements, this is when you can really bring in a full-time team that knows what needs to be done. And this is the 5th and most important part of that market-led growth program that ties it all together for you. So that's it. That's the 5 phases. It is number 1, messaging and positioning. Number 2, brand development and identity. Number 3, asset creation and implementation. Number 4, demand creation and rapid tests. And finally, number 5, scale, optimize, and transition. So that's our show. If you like this show about leveraging the 5 phases of market-led growth to build a program and truly unlock your growth, then be sure to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you might be listening or watching this show. Take a look at us over at growpowerful.io. And don't forget to subscribe to our blog, which is under the resources tab. Subscribe to the Grow Up with Grow show on your favorite podcast. Subscribe to our newsletter on LinkedIn. Search for us on YouTube. Oh, and if you are a fractional chief marketing officer and you're looking to engage with the community, guess what? Good luck. We have a group called Fracmo, and it is an open Slack community, and it's open to all who want to learn. You can learn more about that by reaching out to me or by visiting our website, www.growpowerful.io. That's it. That's the show. Happy holidays, happy new year, and wishing you all the best of success. Thank you.